Hey everybody, Joe Cioffi here, weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Coming up tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast. We're going to be talking about severe weather once again in the nation's midsection and a pattern change that's going to be occurring across the U.S. This week is going to be a tale of two halves in the eastern U.S. So that's all tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast at 7:35 p.m. We also want to let you know that tomorrow night we have an interesting podcast. John Molick, who is the director of intelligence for the New York State National Guard. He has a podcast called Headlines in History. So he's going to be talking about weather and how weather information is disseminated to higher ups in the military, plus a look back at how weather played a role in history. So that's tomorrow night, Tuesday, June 4th at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time. So as we look ahead to this week, it's a pattern shift that's occurring across the United States. And actually, when we look beyond this week in the long range, it looks like the month is going to be a tale of two halves. The mean trough is going to be shifting into the eastern part of the United States, and you see it here for later this week as a strong cutoff low dives southeastward into the Great Lakes and heads for Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So the first half of the week is going to be on the warmish side because we're in a ridge and also not much in the way of rain. And then the second half, beginning probably Wednesday night and maybe taking us through next weekend, we're going to be dealing with this strong upper low, a cold, unstable atmosphere aloft, and the potential for some showery rains, not straight through, but kind of days where you have self-destruct sunshine and showery rains. And in the meantime, the middle of the country, which is seeing severe weather, is actually going to get a bit of a break. And going forward, the trough in the east kind of hangs around through the first half of the month, which means cooler than normal temperatures in the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, and Northeast. But a ridge is building in Texas, a heat ridge, and it seems that in the second half of the month we may start to see uh, very warm to borderline hotter weather spreading across the eastern half of the U.S. as well as building in the middle part of the U.S. So that's something to think about as we go forward. Meantime, as far as today is concerned, as we check out the satellite loop, we had a weak upper trough that moved through overnight. Some widely scattered showers with that. Now we're left behind with um, sunshine and clouds this morning on the satellite view. And while there might be perhaps a couple of showers or isolated thunderstorms that pop up late today, they will be mostly well inland in western Pennsylvania and parts of upstate New York. Meanwhile, you see lightning strikes this morning from Wisconsin southwestward into Oklahoma, and that's going to be setting up severe weather in time. Here's what the radar looks like. Got showers offshore, some scattered showers in parts of the Carolinas into Georgia, uh, stronger thunderstorms in parts of Kansas and Oklahoma, as well as in the upper Great Lakes. And it's kind of wet in the Pacific Northwest and in the Northern Rockies as that Western energy comes in from off the Pacific that's going to be driving the pattern change. The Storm Prediction Center for today has a slight risk in northeast and north central Texas, much of Oklahoma and Arkansas, the northern half of Louisiana into western Mississippi, and then pushing up into the lower Great Lakes and southern Wisconsin and on up into Illinois and northwest Indiana. There's 2% tornado risk there and 2 to 5% tornado risk in Oklahoma, Arkansas, north central and northeast Texas, and into northern Louisiana. For tomorrow, into early Wednesday morning. It's marginal to slight risk in the middle and upper Mississippi and Missouri River valleys, and not much going on in the eastern part of the United States for Wednesday. No severe weather is forecast at this time, but we do have general thunderstorms being indicated for much of the Great Lakes, the Northeast, except for eastern New England, and all the way down to Florida and all the way west into Texas. But again, it looks like the severe weather part of the equation seems to be relaxing just a little bit after today. And as far as rainfall is concerned, not a whole lot being indicated here for the next 7 days. That's why we really, even though with showery rains, I don't know how much, rain we're going to be able to generate out of it. It's nothing major. We're talking about a quarter to maybe a half an inch. Higher amounts as you go north and northeast up into New England, also southwest into the central and southern Appalachians. And then the biggest amounts are going to be in Missouri, southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma, and northern Arkansas, where we're looking at several to, in some cases, as much as 5 inches of rain. And of course, remember that now that we're in this convective time of year, you get this sort of broad general forecast as far as rainfall amounts are concerned. But in thunderstorms, especially in localized areas, you're going to wind up with double the amounts that are being forecast, and that could lead to some flooding issues. So, moving forward for this week, again today, it looks like an okay day for the most part. Just going to look for a little bit of scattered activity inland late this afternoon and this evening. That dies out. Tuesday looks fine. We'll have the next couple of days, it'll be temperatures reaching into the 80s inland and staying in the 70s along the coast with the wind off the ocean. You'll notice this heavier thunderstorms that break out in Oklahoma and Arkansas and Missouri, and also in the upper Midwest with the next weather front. You see it there for Tuesday, and then pushing eastward on Wednesday. That's when we'll probably see some showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two reach eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England later Wednesday afternoon, and particularly Wednesday night into Thursday morning. After that, we're getting into that upper low, so it looks cooler toward the end of the week. And again, it'll be a situation of probably some self-destruct sunshine that leads to showery rains both Thursday and then again on Friday, and probably over the weekend. So I hope you enjoyed the dry weekend that we had after 16 weekends in a row where it rained on at least one day. Well, it just looks like it's going to be a one s- one weekend streak of dry air, of dry weather, as the pattern turns cool and a bit on the wet side later this week and into the weekend. So again, don't forget the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast tonight at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time.